So a lot of people have been asking me about the details of my turbo setup. So I'm going to share that with you guys. Um, well, as an overview, I'm running 4 psi on stock internals with no standalone ECU or anything like that, and I made 240 wheel horsepower with this setup. For my exhaust, I'm running your standard eBay turbo headers. They're stainless steel. I have them wrapped with some fiberglass header wrap and sealed with DEI header wrap sealing spray, stainless steel zip ties. I've got a 38mm wastegate, an eBay wastegate with 4 psi spring in it. That's my boost control. All that goes to an eBay T3 T4 turbo. It's a 50 trim. Coming out of the turbo, I've got the downpipe to a 2.5-inch catback exhaust with a test pipe instead of the catalytic converter to an OBX resonator and an OBX straight-through muffler. As far as the intake, I've got my VAF, my stock VAF air sensor for the MX6 located before the turbo. It's got a tiny little filter on there, which I don't really like so much, but it goes into the turbo, comes out of it. It's got all silicone couplers and T-bolt clamps on everything. I've got custom-made intercooler piping that I've got a how-to video on. There's a how-to video on all these parts. Goes to an eBay front mount intercooler. My intercooler piping size is 2.25 inches, and I've got let's see, eBay Type RS blow-off valve. I'm running both springs in that, venting to atmosphere, and it goes to a 67mm throttle body. My fuel system is a Walbro 255 high pressure fuel pump in the tank, and it runs to the stock rails. I'm running a stock fuel pressure regulator, 310cc Millennia S injectors, and a 12-to-1 Paxson knockoff FMU. The oil system on my car is basically just an oil filter adapter. It's an oil filter sandwich adapter that I got off of eBay. It's got a 1/8 MPT holes in it, and I just screwed in a right angle fitting and attached that to some stainless steel braided 4AN line. That's the oil feed with an oil restrictor on it to not blow the turbo. Then I've got a 10AN stainless steel braided oil drain from the turbo that goes to the tapped oil pan. My turbo is mounted in the location where the stock battery was, so I have relocated that to the trunk. I'm using a 2-gauge power wire running underneath the car. It should be run under the carpet, but that's the way I've got it. I've had no problems with it. I have a surge protector on it, a breaker there, and it's in the trunk in a battery box. There's a video on that too. My clutch is a Bully Stage 4 4-puck ceramic clutch. It's sprung. And I've got an MX3 16.5 pound flywheel that's inside the transmission. I've got a transmission saver bracket and some DIY poly-filled motor mounts. I filled them with a construction adhesive, and it's stiffened them up quite nice. As far as my engine management, it's just the FMU, the VAF pre-turbo, and I'm running an Apexi Neo, which only works at idle and cruise to control the 310cc injectors that help get me better gas mileage. That's the only thing the Apexi Neo works for. It was worth doing for me because I like to daily this car and get good gas mileage. I have 3 gauges mounted in the A-pillar pod that I got off of eBay. I have an Innovate MTXL wideband, which I quite enjoy, and then I have 2 eBay boost gauge and a oil pressure gauge. So that's about all for my setup. I made 240 wheel horsepower on 4 psi. I could probably safely take this up to around 8 psi. Probably make 300 wheel horse on that. That's about it. I spent exactly, well, just under $2,000 on this setup from start to finish. and I love it. I mean, I'm really glad I did it. It took me a long time to put it together. It took me about 2 years of researching and about a full month once I started it, just to get everything running right. Yeah, that's pretty much it.